Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel. You got your boys here, Lanny and Bert, the Dividend Diplomats. Today we're giving you an update. A decision has been made with what I'm doing with my Johnson & Johnson position. Those 200 plus shares that my wife and I own in our portfolio. What are we doing with Johnson & Johnson? Are we going to exchange them for Kenvue? Are we going to keep all the J&J shares? Watch this video and you are going to find out, everyone.
Smash that subscribe button. Give Bert and I a nice thumbs up, guys, on the road to 20,000 subscribers, where we talk about here on this channel dividend investing, dividend growth investing, reaching financial freedom by way of that passive income stream that grows automatically. And Bert's got a big debate here again with Johnson & Johnson and Kenvue, J&J and KVUE, pharmaceutical versus the consumer branded element here.
So that's exactly what it is. We're the weekend before the big decision has to be made for Johnson & Johnson. So what is happening? Last year, Johnson & Johnson announced it was going to join the trend of splitting up the large conglomerate company. They were going to eventually split off the consumer brands of Tylenol. All the big brands that we loved in Johnson & Johnson's portfolio were becoming a new entity, and they are with Kenvue. They had a Kenvue IPO back in the second quarter, where Johnson & Johnson is still the majority owner of many shares. The million-dollar question was, what is Johnson & Johnson going to do? Is it going to be a spinoff? Is it going to be a split off? They decided to split off. So what does that mean? For every $100 you have invested in Johnson & Johnson, you have the chance to exchange your shares for $107 worth of Kenvue. So obviously it's adjusted for the price, but you get a nice 7% discount there. But the kicker is it's a split off, not a spin off. So if you choose to exchange your Johnson & Johnson shares, you no longer own them in your portfolio. That's the key piece. If once you say you want the exchange, those Johnson & Johnson shares are gone.
It's weird that the window's actually closing here. Again, the window's closing, the sun is setting, guys. You guys can buy Kenvue stock though on the open market right now if you want to. Again, they announced a dividend as well, so you already know what you're getting. You're getting a 3.42% consumer goods stock here. The Tylenol, the Band-Aid, all the other products that we know and love. Bert, correct me if I'm wrong, but Neutrogena, Aveeno, and some other brands that we all again know. And now, Bert, here's the biggest question again. Is J&J owns a crap ton of Kenvue stock right now on their balance sheet. And what happens if J&J can't get rid of all of the shares through this split off?
It's a great point because management has committed that they want this investment off their books by the end of the year. So if enough people don't exchange the Johnson & Johnson for Kenvue, they're going to distribute it out to shareholders at the end of the year. So even if you choose not to participate in the exchange, there may be an opportunity to have received Kenvue as a part of the split just because the company wants it off their books. And that was a piece that we've been learning. We recorded a video a few weeks ago where we talked about the split in our initial thoughts, and that was something that we missed in the initial research, and a lot of people reminded us of it. It was a very important fact for us to consider and ultimately a part of my decision too.
Yeah, exactly. So I already know what I'm going to be doing. I think I even said at the last video, maybe even responded to some of those comments here, guys. But this is a big decision. It's the looming decision. It's like the debt ceiling or something like that. This is like some finger, again, edge of your seat stuff here. I know a lot of comments are out there. A lot of videos are covering J&J and the Kenvue stock split off here. And I know everybody's showcasing the big mailers they got from the legal, parties, the investment firms that are involved, J&J. I got, at our house, 4 of them for every account that J&J is held at.
Hopefully they get a discount on those printer fees.
Yeah, right. Those things were all shipped USPS priority, I think, possibly. I'm like, oh my God.
Media mail.
Yeah, should have saved your postage, guys. Come on. There's electronic here.
So we had some fun with this too. Before we reveal our decisions, even though Lanny's alluded to what he's doing, we put this on our Twitter feed. We put out a poll the other night Said, what are you doing? Are you keeping all your J&J? Are you splitting some J&J, some Kenvue, or are you going all Kenvue? And it was a resounding keep it in Johnson & Johnson. I think it was over 80% of the people said they're just keeping all of Johnson & Johnson. So the pulse for DivTwit and the pulse for FinTwit is showing that they want to keep the Johnson & Johnson shares.
I mean, J&J, the old reliable, the GOAT, 50 plus years of increases, keeping majority of their revenue despite the split off. Got it. Got it. Got it.
So you know what? We're going to do this here. We'll do the big reveal. What are we going to do? Remember, over the last 2 years, I built my Johnson & Johnson position to 100 shares each. It took a while. It took nearly 2 years to do it, but we finally got our positions there. And you know what, community? You know what we're going to do? We're going to keep it there. We are not exchanging our Johnson & Johnson shares for Kenvue. We are going to keep it in J&J. So sorry, Kenvue, we're not taking the exchange offer. We'll roll the dice. If we want to buy some Kenvue shares, we will get them on the open market, or we may get those extra shares at the end of the year if the exchange isn't complete.
Yeah, and you may get them anyways, guys, because again, when you look at the screener right now, J&J metrics are looking solid. 16 PE ratio, right, Bert?
Yeah. Right in their old range. Johnson & Johnson, old reliable.
Old reliable. And Kenvue is not looking bad on the other hand. They're at 18 PE. So you're like, well, obviously they're in a different ball game now, but a higher PE nonetheless.
Yeah. Yep. And their payout ratio is at 62%, which is in line with the consumer staple sector for Kenvue. So not high, not low. It's just about right. But their yield's at 3.42%, which you said. And I think the most interesting piece with Kenvue, to be honest with you, they're down 13% since their IPO. It's not as if this stock is like soaring right now where you're going to get this company that's on a rocket ship. They're down. They're the trend of a lot of other companies. They're even down 4% since our last video we did 2 weeks ago. So they're beaten down over $1 per share. So you may get a chance to get them in an even larger discount than that 7% you're getting in the open market if the trend continues this way.
Yeah, the one question I have is what is the price point of the discount? Is it at the actual August 18th date?
No, I think it's a window. Someone here,
like an average price or something.
It's like the average price from the 14th through the 16th, I think. It's a weird, it's not straightforward. It's like trying to figure out the dividend growth rate for an international company.
Sweet, aka just don't bother. So interesting. So Kenvue, got a nice yield, more than 2 times the S&P 500 at 3.42%. But J&J, on the other hand, one of the safest payout ratios, again at 44 to 45%, doing it for 60 plus years, 6% growth rate. Kind of flat over the last year to date. Kind of hang around with up 3 to down 3%.
Yeah, and they're getting back to they're focusing on their 2 largest business units of their sales. Kenvue was the smallest of the 3 units. Their farm division's almost 14 billion in sales last quarter. Medical devices almost 8 billion. Kenvue was only 4 billion. So they're not exactly, it's not like they're shedding their top revenue generator either. They're shedding their third and they're focusing on those 2 large ones, which are hot sectors and areas that as the population continues to age should continue to see growth.
Yeah, the diplomats aren't getting any younger, guys, and we need those J&J pharmaceuticals right now.
So everyone, let us know, what are you doing here? Are you keeping J&J? Are you participating in the exchange? You got 2 no's from your boys here.
2 no's, 2 double birds right there, Stone Cold style.
Yeah, that's what we did to Kenvue. Or are you going to take the path of just buy Kenvue on the open market? Let us know in that comment section below.
And also let us know if you're just lazy and you're just not even going to bother. Even if you wanted Kenvue shares, you're like, this is just too much of an effort. Let me just figure it out some other way.
That's fair. That's a fair option as well. So everybody, thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up. And remember, if you're not with us, you're against us, Jack.
Guys, that was Bert, the Hurt, and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats, over and out.